Hello, everyone, and welcome to Test Kitchen Live. We are so happy to be here with you today. We are live from the Pampered Chef Video Kitchen. I am Sandy. I work in the Test Kitchen here, and I am joined by the founder of Pampered Chef, Doris Christopher. Thank you so much for being here today.
Hi, Sandy, and thank you so much for inviting me. I'm delighted to be here and to share this special time with everyone.
It is going to be a special day, but there's lots of screams from all the people watching that they're so happy that you're joining us today. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to do a lot of cooking, lots of recipes to show you, lots of tips and tricks. We really hope you stick around. But as you join, we want to know, where are you watching from? So put in the chat where you're watching from. We also want to know something else. What is your favorite piece of stoneware? Pampered Chef stoneware. And if you don't have stoneware, maybe you have, something on your wish list, something that you've been wanting to try. We're going to show you lots of stoneware today, but put in the chat what's your favorite piece of stoneware, maybe what you have your eye on, because there's so much to choose from. So Doris, why don't you tell us, what are we doing today?
We are going to have so much fun, and we're going to work very quickly because we have a lot to share with you. Today, we're going to be making 5-ingredient or less appetizers. Now, appetizers, they've always been one of my favorite categories. I think I could make a meal from appetizers almost any time. But with this season upon us and the holidays coming up, we all have a need for either entertaining and having some quick appetizers for people stopping by unannounced and you want to be able to be ready, or if you're invited to somebody's home and you want to take something along, or to some event that you're going to. So we have 5-ingredient or less appetizers that can be put together quickly. But the most important thing is they're delicious, they look great, and they'll be easy for you to be prepared to serve for your crowd. They're all real crowd pleasers.
They are crowd pleasers, and you might even have some of the ingredients in your own kitchen or pantry to put these together. So exciting. Also, October is a very special month for us here at Pampered Chef, right, Doris?
It is. It is. Always reminds me of October long ago when I did the very first Pampered Chef party. That was in 1980, and it was in October, and it brings back amazing memories. And of course, I didn't know then, but the fall is really almost always our busiest and our best season. People are really eager to get products for their own cooking or to give as gifts. So October turned out to be a pretty good month for an anniversary. And this October, we are having a wonderful stoneware promotion. So our stoneware has taken many shapes over the years, but we started with stoneware in our very first line. This is a piece of unglazed stoneware, a large round stone. And we have continued to innovate on stoneware for 42 years. It's still a very important product in our line. I love it because it's something that all you do is put the food on it that you were going to put on any other kind of baking vessel or sheet or whatever, and it makes it better. I truly think stoneware makes you a better cook.
I think so too. And from October until the end of October, all of our unglazed stoneware is going to be 15% off. So that is so exciting. What a great time to get some stoneware, unglazed stoneware in your kitchen, and ask your Pampered Chef consultant. I'm so excited. I'm so excited about the stoneware. Ask your consultant more about that. We have one more special guest. We have Abby over there on the chat. Hi, Abby. Hi, guys. I'm happy to be here with you. We're happy to have you. So engage in the chat with Abby. She might have a couple surprises along the way for people who are engaging. So before we get started, Doris, I know some people are trickling in. Again, we're joined by Doris Christopher, the founder of Pampered Chef. We call her the OG of the test kitchen, all things cooking. And we are just so thrilled to be cooking live with Doris.
And I'm delighted to be here with you. This is so much fun. Thank you for inviting me.
I think so too. So before we get started, I wanted to actually wish a slightly late Happy Thanksgiving to all of our Canadian guests and consultants who are watching. They just celebrated their Thanksgiving. So we wanted to give you a little shout out. Thanks for watching, and we hope it was a happy one for all of you.
I think Thanksgiving is one of my favorite holidays. It's all about the food. So it's really nice that there are two opportunities for Thanksgivings,
That's
one in
right.
Canada, one here in the US.
That's right.
So are we ready to get
I
started?
think we're ready to get started.
All right, we have got some fast cooking to do. And the emphasis in these recipes is fast, easy, delicious. I think that's usually the emphasis of almost every Pampered Chef recipe. So today we're going to start with prosciutto-wrapped asparagus. So this one's even a little bit healthy, but it's beautiful, it has great flavor. And to get started, we're going to take spears of asparagus. A little bit thicker ones are really better for this recipe. And the first step is just to trim the asparagus. And generally what you want to do is go high enough on the stalk so that the color has started to change. And that way, you know, you've gotten the woody stem piece removed from the asparagus, and the rest of it is going to be much more tender. And then we're going to take a piece of prosciutto and we're going to wrap each. I've got this on paper so it wouldn't all stick together, and it's sticking to the paper. Okay, here we go. We're going to just spiral wrap that. Mine came apart a little bit, so not to worry, we can make that work. Add just a little bit more to it. And then we're going to wrap this. And then once we've got it wrapped, we're going to just put it on the baking sheet. So the prosciutto has got a really nice salty flavor to it, and picked up a little bit on the ends. And it goes really nicely with the asparagus.
Absolutely.
All right, and that's it. So I said less than 5 ingredients. This one has really 2. I think we're going to put a little black pepper on
Yeah, we
this,
could
but,
put a little pepper.
a little bit of olive oil if you want to.
And I noticed you saved those ends of the
Absolutely.
asparagus.
So whenever you're doing any kind of a vegetable, I like to trim broccoli as well. I always save in the refrigerator the ends until I'm ready to make some soup stock. And it's simpler than you think. You just really put a little bit of water and just keep it going. And those will soften up and will really give you a nice flavor to your stock. So
I like that. And what about the prosciutto, Doris? If somebody didn't have prosciutto or maybe didn't like it.
So I think you could do this recipe with certainly with a really thin ham slices, or we could also, I think we could even try it with really thin sliced turkey as well.
I think so too. Yeah.
So I think it would be really good that way.
Look at how
Either
pretty
way.
this looks.
And easy. Another thing about this recipe that I love is that it can be totally done ahead. Cover it, refrigerate it until you're ready to pop it into the oven. Take it out a little bit before you put it in the oven.
I like that. Right
But-
before, if you go to a party, you could bring it and then pop
Yeah.
it in.
Yep, you could take it this way to somebody's home and just put it in the oven. So 450 for I think about 13 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is one of our new stoneware pieces. This is a stoneware tray, which, I mean, how beautiful does that look on top of that tray? This is not just a tray. It's a cooking tray, a serving tray, and maybe the best part, we love this. We love multi-purpose tools over here at the Pampered Chef, is that it fits perfectly on our rectangle baker as a lid, or you can do some dual cooking. We have a wonderful ravioli lasagna that goes in the baker with breadsticks on the top.
I love that. You know, any product that is easy to store, and this can be, this can go under the rectangle baker to store. And then you've got kind of double the function here. And if you have
Absolutely.
leftovers and you want to put it in the refrigerator, this becomes a nice topper for that as well.
Yep, and of course, this has our unglazed interior and a glazed white satin exterior that is so beautiful, so pretty, just in time for the
I
holidays.
love the term that we've given this because it really does sort of look like it's smooth, like a piece of
It
fabric like
is.
that.
So gorgeous. So we're going to
Beautiful.
wait just a minute for this one so that we can cook it at the same time as our next recipe.
All right, are we getting ready for the next one?
We're ready for the next
Okay,
one. That
good.
was easy, easy as can be, I think. I'll put this aside. So what do we got? What's number 2?
All right, we are going to do a wonderful Brie, and add just a couple of ingredients to it, and you have a fabulous appetizer. So Sandy's gonna work on the Brie, and I'm gonna work on the brown sugar mixture that goes with it. Actually, brown sugar and Dijon mustard. So first, let's talk a little bit about brown sugar. Brown sugar, unlike any other ingredient that I can think of, needs to be packed into whatever measuring vessel you're going to use, whatever measuring container. So the recipe calls for a half a cup. So I've already got it pressed into the measuring cup. I'm just going to flip that. And a trick, or it's something to remember, is that your brown sugar is packed enough if it maintains the shape of whatever you've measured it in. So that's kind of an easy one. Our measuring cups are great. We also have the wonderful measure-all cup that is so great because you can pack the brown sugar into this. We're only going to do one load of brown sugar, but just so that you can see. When we get this in, and you want to compact it as you go so that you get it nice and firm. Sandy, you had a trick, or you had a little fact about brown sugar, light brown sugar, or dark brown sugar.
When you're at the store, right, and you have light brown sugar and dark brown sugar, sometimes you're like, which one do I do? My recipe doesn't say the difference between light brown and dark brown sugar. It's just the amount of molasses. So dark brown sugar has more molasses, giving it kind of a more caramely, deeper flavor, whereas light brown sugar is a little bit mild. We're using light, but the difference,
So it's really up to you then.
it's up to you.
When, I used to
Pretty interchangeable.
struggle with it and think, okay, do I need light brown, dark brown? So now it's just up to us,
to you.
whatever we want to do.
Yeah.
All right, so this is going to hold its shape, and we're not going to use that this time, but it's a great measuring tool.
Great for peanut butter,
Wonderful for peanut butter,
mustard, maybe.
mustard, any kind of shortening that you're putting into something. It also works well for it. All right, next, we're going to add some almonds, and I'm going to chop some and keep some whole. So I have our wonderful food chopper.
Food chopper's been around.
Food chopper is also one of those products that we've had from the very beginning.
Wow.
It's changed a little from time to time, but it still does a wonderful job. And I like to use it for any kind of nut chopping. You just keep going until you've got the amount of chopping that you need. But for a recipe like this, you can just suit yourself with it.
I love how you use the little cup that comes with it. I think sometimes people forget that it's really easy just to slice right there and then
Absolutely.
pack it in.
That's so simple. And pour it in.
Beautiful.
The chopper, we used to say it's sort of a therapy also, because you chop it up, get rid of all your aggravations.
I love
and
it. I love
frustrations
it.
as
Cooking
well.
can be therapy.
can be And then the only other ingredient we're going to add to this is some Dijon mustard, which I've already pre-measured, a tablespoon of Dijon mustard. And get that into them. Get all of that, and then mix it up. So super simple.
What if somebody didn't have those sliced almonds at home? What do you think else they could use?
Oh, you could use any kind of nut. You could use pecans, walnuts. I don't know. You could even try pistachios.
Pistachios. I was gonna say, it just gives
mhm,
it the nice
Yeah.
amount of crunch.
to vary it. So I'm really just trying to get this just kind of mixed up a little bit, and then we're gonna
Easy
top
peasy.
our Brie.
Yeah,
with
I gotta
that.
get going on my Brie. So let's talk about Brie for a minute. I know Doris and I were talking, some people get a little intimidated by Brie. They're like, what do I do? Am I supposed to cut the rind off? Well, we're here to tell you there's no need to be intimidated by your Brie. First of all, you can keep your rind on the Brie. It's totally edible, and it actually helps protect the Brie and hold it in shape. It's got kind of like a nutty, maybe earthy flavor that really complements that creamy, dreamy paste inside of the Brie. So what I'm going to do cut side up, right, Doris?
Cut side up. Yep, in the center of our wonderful
There you go.
round baker, and then I'm going to take about half of our mixture, and we'll just get that off the spoon so that we get it all.
Another good tip when you're cutting your Brie, keep it at room temperature for a while, and it's a little easier to do it. And I like to use a nice long bread knife that gets through the Brie.
All right, so we're going to take about half of this mixture,
Okay.
just guesstimate,
Okay.
and put it on the cut side of our brie, and just, there's not a magic to this, just spread it around a little bit.
Abby, are people drooling out there? Are they liking the recipes so
People
far?
are so excited about the brie. We actually had a question, Sandy. What do you think about a vegetarian alternative to the prosciutto?
Oh, you could probably use like a veggie bacon, something like that. Would crisp up really nice. They have so many nice meat alternatives now out there that I think a veggie bacon could work just nice.
Or not vegetarian, of course, but bacon is another substitute for the prosciutto.
Bacon would work too for the prosciutto. Okay, so I'm going this one cut side up too, right?
Yep.
Look at this. It's like a brie tower. How delicious.
And then we're going to just top that with the rest of our brown sugar almond Dijon mustard mix. Oh my goodness, this is going to be so heavenly once we get it in the oven.
I love it.
Starts
And we have a few other delicious holiday brie recipes. If you go on our website or ask your consultant, we have one, a tangy pepper pecan
Oh,
brie
that one sounds wonderful.
and the
There's
cranberry apple.
That's one of my favorites.
That's a fan
And I think
fave.
somebody has told me that they use just apple and lemon and honey also chopped
Oh,
up. It's a good one. All right, now I'm going to top this with the remaining almonds that we did not chop. So these are sliced almonds.
Ooh,
Get those, push those all in.
Very
toward the
pretty.
Center. Now, it's beautiful, but it looks a little bit lonely on
does.
that platter.
it does look a little lonely. I have some bread that's already, just some French bread that's been sliced. It's been sliced on a bias, which is just a fancy way of saying diagonal. And I'm going to finish slicing these up, put them in the oven. But Doris, we all want to know. Can you tell us a little story about how you started Pampered Chef, why you started Pampered Chef? We want to know.
Well, 42 years is a long time to remember. But luckily, there are some experiences in life that you don't ever forget when you've lived through it. And Pampered Chef, I have to say, has been the adventure of my lifetime. But when I started, of course, I had no idea what the outcome would be. I started the business because I wanted to get back into working after my children were in school. Kelly had just started grade school or kindergarten, and Julie was in third grade, I think. And I knew it was time to get back doing something, but what did I want to do? I wanted to be available to the kids when they were in school, if they needed me, or if I wanted to do things with them in school. And I also wanted to do something that was meaningful and purposeful, but I wasn't ready to go back to work quite full time. So I got the idea of helping people figure out how to handle the mealtime dilemma. Most people that I knew didn't like to cook in the same way that I did. They looked at it more as something they had to do, not something they loved to do. And if I thought about that, I think the difference was, for me at least, it seemed that I had great tools in my kitchen. And that often made the difference, that kind of brought me into a recipe, helped me do something faster and easier, helped me to turn food out quickly if I needed to, or would let me spend time and make it look even more beautiful if I needed to or had the time to do that. So I decided that I was going to pull together things that I knew and loved in my kitchen and see if there was somehow a business idea that would come forward with sharing ideas, sharing inspiration, recipes, and tools with friends, family, neighbors, anybody who would listen. I had no idea whether it would work or not, but it turned out that it worked. And pretty soon people were asking me also if they could do this business alongside of me. So that's kind of the story of how it all began. It seems impossible to me that it was that long ago, but it was. I can guarantee it.
Well, I know there are so many people who are very thankful that you made that decision 42 years ago. I mean, what a meaningful career it's been for you and for so many consultants out there. So we thank you for taking that big step 42 years ago. So glad that you can join us today.
I am happy to be here, and October is always special because it's the celebration of the beginning of the business. And I have to say, I'm so grateful for all of the people who have become great customers of Pampered Chef over the years, And for all of the people who have been our consultants and joined in the business and made it so much better because of all the creativity that they've brought to the business.
I want you all to share all your love and thanks in the chat right now for Doris.
They're
Abby, I
already
bet I want to hear it. I
all
want to
over
hear
it.
it.
You know, there's hearts floating up the
Oh.
screen. Celebratory confetti. I'm telling you, they are going wild. Everyone loves Doris. How could you not?
I love it.
My love to all of them as well.
All right, I'm gonna
That
get
looks
this in the
beautiful.
oven. I
It no longer
know
looks-
it's not lonely
It
anymore.
doesn't look lonely
All right,
anymore.
let's get this in there. We'll
All
get
right.
ready.
And the beauty of this is you're able to put both of these in.
We are.
and
We're gonna
get
put
them done
these.
at about the same
Yeah,
time.
both in at 450. Good. And the asparagus will take a couple minutes longer, but Abby's gonna keep us on time.
All right, sounds good.
Okay.
All right, so are we ready to move on?
This is kind of like the speed round. We have two extra super fast ideas for. I love how Doris said when you have unexpected. She's so gracious, right? When people show up at my house, I'm like, we have pretzels, but Doris puts out a beautiful spread. So,
Well, it's
we
kind
should
of-
all be more like Doris.
well, I don't know about that, but it's kind of fun to have sort of a trick up your sleeve.
It is
And,
so fun.
our wonderful raspberry habanero sauce, I think, is one of those tricks up my sleeve anyway, and I think it could be for anybody. Sometimes things like this come together quickly. It's like, okay, somebody's here. What are we going to do? One thing I tend to keep in my refrigerator at all times is a block of cream cheese. You end up using it for maybe for frosting or in a dip or in a recipe of some kind. But I make sure that I keep at least one whole block in the refrigerator at all times, because with a wonderful platter, this is our fully glazed entertaining platter.
Mhm.
And it really is quite pretty. Simple things like adding pretzels, crackers. I've got some gluten-free crackers here. I usually put a little, take a Post-it and cut it into a banner and put that with the gluten-free crackers so that everybody knows where they need
Cute.
to find those. And then I take the habanero sauce and just pour it over. This is as simple as it could be. Make sure that's opened up and ready. And the raspberry habanero sauce is sweet and tart. And you just pour a little over, let it go. It's not meant to have a pattern or a design. Then I add a spreader to it and put it out. The other thing I love about this is once people have sort of carved away at it for a while, you can come back and add more sauce and it sort of looks like it's brand new all over again.
I love that. I
So
mean, look
that
at this
one's
trick
really easy.
up your sleeve. And I think you could, I know we just showed you Brie, but you could do this with Brie or goat cheese.
Absolutely.
And
It would be beautiful. with
I
that.
actually think that it wouldn't be as beautiful without this fully glazed stoneware entertaining platter. When we came out with this platter, I just feel like I stepped up my game because we host Thanksgiving at my house with my family. And I had the bowls, it comes with bowls, and there's a smaller platter too. And you just feel so coordinated and so chic. And I just love this. This is dishwasher safe, microwave safe, and oven safe.
And actually, when you put this out, have another block of cream cheese if you have a big group, because it's so kind of easy to do, but looks really pretty and amazing. People will always say, what is that you've got on it? They look at it and it's sort of like you mix something up yourself.
It looks
It's,
beautiful.
really easy.
I'd like you guys to all put in the chat if you've tried the raspberry habanero. What do you love it on? And get crazy. I mean, you could put it on ice cream.
Oh, absolutely.
Or in a
Really
cocktail.
good.
Yeah.
Drizzle it over a little fruit if you're serving fruit for dessert or
Simple.
a salad. Very
It is
simple.
so delicious. Abby, what do you think? Are people loving this?
People are
easy-
drooling in the comments. Sandy, what about the spice level?
It's got a little kick.
It does.
Just a little one. I
Okay,
mean,
for people who aren't super into spice.
give it a try because I think that sweetness really balances out well. It's not like you're biting into a jalapeno. It's got nice balance.
And of course, if you take Sandy's approach and eat it with a spoon, you know, that's,
I would eat it with
the
a
bite
spoon.
may be a lot, but if you mix it with something like a little bit of cream cheese, it's very, very bland flavor. I think it'll
So I
love
think
it.
it'd be nice if we have a little surprise for some of the people that have been in the chat, a little raspberry habanero to spice up your life. What do you think? So Natalie Kilbert loves the bar pan. Raspberry habanero for you. Deborah Finan loves the glazed round stone. And Sheila Gale, the large bar pan. So raspberry habanero for Natalie Kilbert, Deborah Finan, and Sheila Gale. Please put in the QA your name and your email address, and we'll get you one of these.
Congratulations.
Great.
And keep going in the chat. How would you use your raspberry habanero? The more interesting, the better. We wanna fill up all the ideas. Okay. Last idea, but not least.
Last idea is on an unglazed piece of stoneware. And this one is super easy. And either you can buy a wonderful loaf of bread on your way home from work or picking up the kids from school or whatever, or you can make one with a really super simple Italian herb bread. All that you do is add water to this, and it creates this lovely loaf of bread, and then serve it with one of our dipping oils or one of our flavored oils. So we have both the basil and the Parmesan
Garlic.
Yep. Olive oil. And you know, you might want to cut the bread up into smaller pieces, or if you're serving it at dinner time this way, if you're serving it on a warm stone, the bread will stay warm for a little while. Super easy.
How good does
And
it
again,
smell too?
the kind of things, yeah, really does. The kind of thing that you can have on hand, ready to put together in a hurry.
Absolutely. So we have seen our partially glazed stoneware. We have seen our fully glazed stoneware. And again, this is our unglazed stoneware that is 15% off for the month of October. Doris, talk to us a little bit about the unglazed stoneware, what makes it special and why we love it.
You know, from the very beginning, I decided when I started the business, okay, there were tools, maybe there were 25 or so that I knew were somewhat special and that I put into the line immediately because I knew they would be helpful to people. I mean, easy things like good bamboo spoons and cutting boards that were easy to use and easy to keep clean. And stoneware was not on my list. Absolutely. It was something that I happened upon as I was shopping for products to put into the line. I was totally unaware of how wonderful it was. And I actually went to the Merchandise Mart in Chicago, which used to be a place where they sold all kinds of wholesale goods. The people who were selling this stoneware really had no idea what they had. They didn't know how to use it. They didn't know how to bake on it. I asked them a million questions and they kept saying no, and then they'd send a different salesperson to talk to me. And finally, it was late on a Friday afternoon, and they just sent 2 stones home with me to try for the weekend. And that was all I needed. I was so convinced after I used the stones to bake bread, to make pizza. I did a quiche in a pie plate sort of piece of stoneware. And what I found is what we still love today about stoneware. It absorbs moisture and it causes crusts to be crisp. It causes breads to raise and be lighter. It seems to improve almost everything that you put on it to
You
cook.
feel like a pro when you're cooking.
You do. And the very first party, I took a frozen pizza in a box that people would recognize. And I simply chopped up some vegetables, added it to the top of the pizza. And literally every piece of pizza was gone within about 10 minutes. And people were looking at the box saying, my pizza doesn't taste like this at home. I think I sold a stone to at least half of the people that were at that first party. And none of them had ever heard of stoneware before. So it truly has borne the test of time and continues to serve us well in all of the innovative ways we've brought it to market.
Do you know that I actually use your pizza trick whenever we make a frozen pizza? I do just put it on the stone. I mean, why not?
Absolutely.
And,
It's simple.
It's simple, and I think we should tell everybody that this is a new stone right here,
This
as you
one.
could see.
Yes.
So tell everybody what happens when it's
so-
more well loved.
When you're using stoneware, it tends to brown and age. And what is the phrase that we all use? The darker it looks, the better it cooks. I do forget some of those things. So as the stoneware is used, it kind of develops a patina and really becomes so loved and revered. So this piece is brand new, or pretty new. I would say. Maybe it's been used a few times. So eventually it will become a glorious brown.
Yes, it's kind of a badge of honor
It
when
is.
you get your stone really dark. I know once I got mine, I was like, guess what? I've got a dark stone.
But the interesting thing is it cooks well, even when it's
It
brand new
does.
out of the box.
It does, right out of the box.
It does.
And some of our newer pieces of stoneware are dishwasher safe too.
That's
And
truly wonderful.
right. They're so easy to clean, and you could throw them in the dishwasher too. So again, 15% off of this beautiful, all of our beautiful unglazed stoneware. If you're having trouble choosing, since we've shown you so many great things, ask your consultant to help you pick what's right for you.
One of the keys to our business are our wonderful consultants who know our product and who are able to get to know their customers and really help make the selection process easier, because we do offer stoneware in many shapes and sizes and variations. And so it really is wonderful that we have that sort of on the ground, close to home help for people to make their choices. I see some interesting things.
Yes,
starting
something
to,
else is coming out. We have a couple more minutes on the asparagus, but Abby, we wanted to chat with you another time. So we have
2 minutes left before that asparagus is going to be ready. So in the meantime, I just wanted to tell you guys that this month in October only, you can join Pampered Chef as a consultant if you want to follow in Doris's footsteps for just $25 in the US and $35 in Canada. And if you're a host, it could be even less. So we know that our consultants join for multiple different things. Like Doris said, the flexibility, a little bit of extra income. There's so many reasons why different people join the business. We know one of the reasons people love to join the business is because they can earn free products. And this month, if you join in October, you can earn 3 pieces of our beautiful white satin glazed stoneware in your first 30 days just by running your business. So that's really exciting. Talk to your consultant if you want more information.
All right, thanks, Abby. We forgot to show you something that Abby whipped up real quick on our white stone, right, Abby? Good job. No, just kidding.
I can take credit.
No, this is my wonderful colleague, Sarah. Look at this. We forgot to mention with the white stone, so many things you can make in addition to pizza. How about those cookie cakes, Doris, that
my goodness.
you get at the store that are
Yeah.
expensive?
My grandchildren are totally into cookie cakes instead of cake. And this one is truly beautiful and
And it's our
easy to
cookie
make.
mix too.
I love it.
This is our Pampered Chef
That's
cookie
another
mix.
simple and easy.
Just whip it right up. How adorable. You guys, we had so much fun here. We got so much done. If you guys had fun and learned some great tips and tricks, reach out to your consultant to find out how you can host your own party and get in on more fun. Abby, tell us one more time. Why is it great to host a party?
Well, hosting, you never pay full price, right? So you're always going to have your products either free or at a discount. And so we've had so many October hosts book to get their stuff for their holiday entertaining, for their holiday gifts that are coming up. So it's a great opportunity. Everyone's just getting ready for the holidays.
I love it. I'm just drizzling with a little bit of balsamic glaze. This is totally optional. Doris, what you got over there?
I've got some lovely coarsely shaved Parmesan that we're going to just sprinkle on the top just to give it a little finish.
Look at that. You just shaved that right with the
Vegetable
vegetable
peeler.
peeler.
Yep.
Guys, look
That's
at that. I don't know. This is, I am starving now. This has been so much fun. And I do have a fun announcement. I promised them the fun announcement. Pampered Chef next month for Test Kitchen Live, we're going on the road.
I love it.
Going on the road. Many of you know we partnered with Joy Bauer, who is an incredible health expert, registered dietitian, and TV personality for our Taste Buds October box. By the way, put in the chat if you've made any of the recipes. They're so good. So we are joining her in New York for Test Kitchen Live November 9th at 7 p.m. Central Time. Please ask your consultant on how you can be part of that one. Don't you love her?
I love Joy Bauer. She is inspiring, and she does so many fun, fast, easy things. That's right up my alley. So I hope I can get an invite.
We'll work it out. I
Okay,
think you
sounds
guys think
good.
we could work it out. I think we'll make it happen. We want Doris to watch. So we want to thank you all for joining. Doris, thank you for joining us. This has been
Oh.
so much fun.
Thank you. My pleasure. I loved being here, and I love all these fun ideas. You can bet these are going to be on my Thanksgiving and other holiday entertaining for the rest of the
Me
year.
too. Me too. So thanks again. Happy cooking. We also have a survey popping up for you. We want to make this a great experience for all of you. And if you take the survey, you might get another surprise and delight. So
Ooh.
take that survey. Thanks again. Happy cooking to all of you.
Bye-bye.